Well, everybody, you only get to see my pretty face this time. Um, my pal, which we're gonna call what was it? The dragon, crypto dragon, or what were we gonna say?
Crypto, yeah, crypto dragon because my Chinese animal is the dragon.
That's it.
Uh, yeah,
And
so
that's like a symbol of good luck, good fortune, that kind of thing, isn't it?
yeah, Chinese love to have babies born in the dragon year because they're very lucky and magical and very good with finance. So they bring money and wealth to the family.
Right. So as everybody can see, I've titled this video most appropriately. This is not for angry little trolls. This is for woo winners only. We want to be with winners. So you know me, I'm a woo woo kind of guy, but I'm also, into things that aren't so woo woo. I try to do the politics and the education side of things, but look at hard facts and data and numbers. But I keep referring back to what Rockefeller back in the day said. When he was asked, do you millionaires use psychics? Nope, but us billionaires do. The millionaires don't, but the billionaires do. That sort of thing. I always think about that. And again, my mom's psychic. We just had
So
this couple here, as I mentioned, well, Friday, and I had met my mom for dinner with them and said, hey, give them a reading, mom. And once again, I just sit there and listen to her tell people stuff that there's no way she could have known, and it's just awesome. So my mom was one of those people when everyone was all freaked out in December because we never had that big old sell off like that where there's that much money was involved, sell off in cryptos, and she's like, nope. Second week of January, right around that second week of January, first part of January, the second week or so, that's what I'm feeling. I wrote a note, I put it in a letter, and I'm like, well, or put it in an envelope. I'm like, well, show it to me. No, not yet. Finally, she did. I read it to everybody, and sure enough, right around that time, boy, cryptos were really moving, really nice. But she hasn't changed her mind. She hasn't come to me and said, oh, well, I'm feeling it's different now. No, it's still going to be fine. So, Mr. Dragon Crypto, he's got a interesting take on about three or four different coins right now, and he seems to see numbers that stand out when he's looking at some of these coins and these numbers and the way the numbers come and the order that they come in. Like at the time he's looking, kind of has guided him apparently over the past few months, where he's been able to scrape off 15, 20% sometimes in a couple days on some of these cryptos, just doing what he feels like he's always been doing. And he is going to talk a little about that. So, Mr. Dragon Crypto, welcome to the Realist News Show. What what's going on your side of things?
or crypto dragon either, even. Yeah, so I just want to say that that's not just how I work. Definitely not. I mean, so I'm using lots of different ways to feel into where to invest, um, and I also I use a lot. I do watch a lot of a lot of people doing graphs and all of this stuff as well, and I look into I'm looking into like cartoons, for example, like The Simpsons, and all. I use a very vast um, array of different things like psychic stuff, numerology, Vedic astrology. I watch the remote viewers. Um, uh, so I'm looking at so many different angles. Um, and even when I look at people doing graph analyzing, and the spirit will guide me to the right videos to look at to get the correct information that's true and real. Um, Before we go any further, I just want to say as well that for the angry little trolls, not to waste any more time with this video. Um, or this audio from my side. Um, what I'm about to share with whoever would like to listen is is potentially very profound and could make you a lot of money. And I don't want to make loads of angry little trolls lots of money, especially if they're all going to go out and buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all things like that. You know, I'm really looking at supporting the integral people, the people that are going to use this money wisely and do good in the world. You know, like. And you know, I don't know how that quite looks, but you know, that's probably not buying a Ferrari. And you know, I like fast cars, I like speed. So if I was to want to follow that thrill, then I would probably buy a Tesla and sacrifice having that nice exhaust sound of a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which isn't the end of the world to say that I'd still be able to do 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Um, so yes, so I just wanted to say that, and I think that's about all I wanted to say. Other than maybe at some point, I'd like to do more videos on you know, on like integrity and intention and like setting intentions, and when you set intentions for of what you want, what you're going to do with the money, or if you set really high vibration positive intentions, then the universe will support you and guide you in making that money. So that's what I do. I set positive intentions and goals, and then through that I get supported, and not just that, by being a person who people respect, and in the world I meet people very like intelligent and high up people want to talk to me, so then I get to I receive information which is I might not have done if I was an angry little troll.
Yeah, gotcha. And by the way, everybody, you notice he mentioned something about the Simpsons a minute ago. Do you guys remember the insane amount of stuff, prophetically speaking, that have been in the freaking Simpsons episodes over the past, God, you know, 15 plus years, that are staring you right in the face, and then it happens, you know, like crazy. So that's one of the things that's why he said that, you know, in other words, he knows that that's happened and recognizes things. And there's been a couple of instances where it might have been shown a couple of coins on a Simpsons episode or whatever. But anyways, he's got at least 3 coins right now that he thinks should do pretty well, you know, in a short period of time. That doesn't mean in a matter of days, but you know, fairly soon. Speaking of the dragon, I think that was another coin you had talked about. So I don't know, where do you want to start?
Yeah, so let's rephrase that. Not what I think, it's what I feel. And I'd say there's about 7 coins in total, which I'm going to mention, and I'm gonna give them in what order that I feel they're in as well. Back to the Simpsons briefly. So yeah, we're looking at cold hard facts and data with the Simpsons in a way, which isn't even woo woo. It's like if you go onto YouTube and type in Donald Trump Simpsons, and you look at that video of Donald Trump going down the escalator, and I mean how accurate is that? I nearly swore then. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but I'll keep it PG.
Yeah.
How accurate is that? I mean, Trump. Not only did they project Trump being president, but they've got him going down the escalator, and he does the hand signs. Do you remember them, Joe? Can you do them now? He does those 2 hand signals, and then somebody drops a piece of paper which falls down the glass screen in exactly the same time, in exactly the same thing, and the two pieces of paper that held up say something like rigged or paid or something like that, and it's like, how blatant is that? And
Yeah.
that's a Simpsons episode from what, like 5 years ago?
There, and the thing is, there's ones even before that. Like I think wasn't there one about Hillary or something, and something else that was even longer ago, but before that, before she was ever even talking about even running, and
There's loads.
just
There's
loads of them.
loads.
Yeah, there's a ton of
There's
them.
loads of like really real things, and that's another thing as well. Just just for the woo people out there, just a little bit of an insight, or I'm not even going to call it a warning. Have a look at some of these future Simpsons predictions and look at what might happen to America. They've got like New York underwater and all sorts of stuff happening to
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
So
Let me stop you there for a second. I've pretty much been meaning to do a video about this, and I don't know why I didn't do it. I forgot. There's a guy on YouTube. His channel, many of you probably will already know this. Some of you won't. His channel name is The Jonathan Kleck, and that's with a K in the beginning. Kleck, I think is how he says that. He claims to be just a pure messenger of God and yada yada yada. And I remember several years ago, he was doing something maybe on the dollar bill or something, and I uncovered something. Next thing I know, he and I like synced up all of a sudden, and I did a video with him. I don't even remember what it was about right now. I'm sure the video's still up on my channel, but lately he's been showing New York City getting nailed by a massive wave. It's in your face. Google Doodle has some stuff on it where he flips it upside down, and it's literally a shark eating a lamb. I mean, just incredible stuff. I probably need to do a separate video on this just to tell everybody you need to go watch this guy.
yeah,
But it's stuff like that, and what you just said made me think of that. And I was like, wow. And I actually said it was about an hour-long video, and I had my wife out here a few days ago. And I was like, Evelyn, you're gonna want to watch this. So let's watch this together. And we sat here and watched it. And it was like, wow, this guy's, it's on our dollar bills. You fold the dollar bills, it shows you stuff. Like, it's insane, the kind of stuff of the future that's gonna be coming, literally. And
yeah,
then this stuff happens. I mean, 9/11, all that stuff, the Pentagon, it was on the freaking dollar bills, the Twin
yeah,
Towers.
and it was in The Simpsons too. So if you want to share a link of that underneath in the underneath
I
this,
should, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that'd be cool. Um, and very very briefly, I don't want to make this video too long, but by going off on all sorts of different places that we could go, if you look, what's that timeline shift thing called, where the alternate paradigm thing
Oh
shift
yeah,
thing?
the oh my God, what's that called? Yeah, it's like where names
Something
change.
effect. They call it the Nelson Mandela
Mandela,
effect.
Mandela.
Mandela effect, yeah. So, because you said lamb there, and it just brought me back to a video I watched the other day about everyone remembers the Bible phrase saying, "And one day the lion will lay down in the same field as the lamb." Um, do you remember? I don't know if you remember that one, but so the lion will lay with the lamb. So that means that all creatures will live in harmony. And now it's changed in all of the Bibles. The lamb will lay with the wolf. Like,
Yeah, and
that's crazy. That
The
doesn't even make
Berenstein
sense.
Bears.
It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't make sense. And it's
Nope.
like, okay, so now we've got a wolf in a lamb's field. That's not good. That's what's happening now in the world. We've got wolves, like,
Yeah,
playing with the lambs.
and the Berenstein Bears. That's another one. Now they spell it completely different. I'm like, wait a minute, it wasn't spelled like that when I was a kid. I remember having the books, and then how the hell did that happen? What happened here? It's weird.
Yeah, loads of stuff. Um, okay, so we'll not talk woo stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
we're getting
not
into
even woo.
cryptos now. Some other kind of woo.
Let's give the people some gold, or silver, depending on which one you want. You can choose. Um,
And by the way, just before you started, you now, and again, people, I can't verify this yet. I've only been talking to him for about a week or so, but you've said to me, I've made some moves, and I get, like you explained in the beginning, where I get these feelings, and I kind of meditate on it, and I do my other things, and you've been pretty successful that when you make a move, you know, 15, 20% in sometimes a day, 2 days time
Hmm.
frame. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone listening, sure, take it with a grain of salt if you want. Others may this may resonate. If his voice and listening to him talk right now and on it doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. If it does and you want to jump on some of these coins he's about to talk about, do it. I got a good feeling over it, to be honest with you. The last several days I've been talking, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get into some of these coins. And some of the ones he mentioned, I'm like, oh, I already like those anyways. So good. But
Yeah.
there's some other ones, you know. So anyways, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I mean, the coins I'm going to mention, even the data is good on them. Even I think they look good on the graphs anyway. If I'm not wrong, Joe.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, this is just going to like save people some, hopefully some time, and maybe if they've got other coins that they don't believe in, they can go into these coins. Which one of them um, is one that you already love anyway, and it's actually number one, which is Litecoin. Um, uh, so that's another restoration in faith for Litecoin. We've got remote viewers, and we've got pretty much everyone saying Litecoin's going to do well. I have got some news around Litecoin that's going to say it's not always going to be doing well, but um, so before I go into that as well, I just want to say, yeah, also in terms of my voice and me speaking now, I do have quite a lot of anxiety. I'm not particularly that amazing at speaking. My it's not not one of my strongest points. Although I do talks on nutrition at festivals sometimes. I'm quite a sort of nervous ball of energy. Um,
Hey, that's okay. If the information is great, who cares? You
yeah,
know, take it
so
as how it comes.
that's it. That's it. Um, and who knows whether I'm gonna receive calls as good as these ones again. This might be the opportunity to use this information, and I might never get another one again. You never know. So you could, if you feel to, seize the moment, and if you don't. You might miss out. But I'm sure I'll have lots more calls to come. Um, Although I do want to start using less of my time and energy on this, because it's been, I'd say, over 400 hours now, and I spent a lot of I was supposed to be resting in South America the last month and a half. I did a month in Peru and 2 weeks in Ecuador, and a lot of that time I spent working with crypto, tuning in, watching videos, because I was trying to trying to manage the dip and not fail myself.
Yeah.
Um, so hopefully get some sort of rewards from this. Um, okay, so before we go into the top three coins, in fact the top seven coins, I'm going to release the one from The Simpsons. Because that for me is a bit less woo woo than any of the other stuff. I mean, it's not because it's The Simpsons has been proved to be accurate, um, very accurate, a lot of the time. So that is in fact 10x pay, and you can go on YouTube, type in 10x pay. Um, Simpsons, and you'll see that Mr. Burns he's got his 10x pay card, and that's the one he's using. He's not using Light Pay or anything like that. It's 10x pay. So that for me is making me feel like 10x pay is going to be a big one, a really big one. And So I did a reading on 10x pay with my team. And it's not just me that's done readings with these coins. And just so you know, we what we did with this reading is we got all of the best coins in our opinions, and we did that through listing most of the ones that Cliff High has got, um, the ones that Michelle's got, although she doesn't actually have any extra that Cliff hasn't got. If I'm not wrong, maybe I don't know, she's got hemp coin and potentially red coin. I don't know if Cliff mentions red coin at all. Um, So we sat in front of this piece of paper, and we both tuned in, because I worked with a buddy who's he's about to buy a consciousness center, kind of not a healing center, but a consciousness center, which is going to bring together some of the most brilliant minds in the world, and create a center which where these minds come together and create profound things potentially. So he needs some money by June. So we was like, okay, let's pull out the coins for now, the best coins from now till June. So we both sat together and we both wrote separately, not showing each other, and then we came together at the end, and we both had the same coins. Two of the same coins and two different coins, and then we later did some more readings and uncovered another coin. So without further ado, the coins that we uncovered, and this I feel is in order.
And let me
And
stop
let
you
me
for
stop you
for
for
one second.
yeah. 1 second.
I think because when we
I think
talked
because
a
we
few
talked
days
a
ago,
few
you'd
days
mentioned that in the June timeline, you guys felt like the what you're about to mention right now, these coins should do. In other words, they should do some pretty good run-ups because June's coming, and that was kind of what you guys were focusing on. So, out of all the thousands of cryptos out there, what you're about to speak of, you feel that should do well, like coming up to June, as opposed to some of these other coins out there. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. These are the ones where I'm placing pretty much all of my money. So any other positions that I had, other than these coins, these 7 coins, I've halved all of my other positions. I had like maybe 30 or 40 other coins. So I've halved all of my positions in them. Some of them I've more than halved, and I've taken all of that money and I've invested it in these 7 coins, mainly in the top 3. Um, I'm just going to bring a little bit more of some of the experiences that I've had so far here, because I just realised that I haven't actually given any examples of how I've been successful in the past. And although there's not really any way I can prove this other than if I was to go on my Poloniex account and maybe look at the date where I bought some gas, and then give you that date, and you could look back on the graphs and see that it went up a lot from that date. That would be one way. But anyway, I'm not here to prove myself. Anyway, like I said, if you resonate with this, invest. If you don't, don't. So one of my best stories that I like the most, or experiences, was with gas, the coin gas, on Poloniex, and I'm not sure if that's Neo Gas or whether it's gas or there's a separate gas to the Neo Gas, another one as well. I don't know. But yeah, so I was walking. I walk dogs. One of my sort of jobs is walking dogs. And I walked a bit of a different route to what I normally walk, and I was just kind of looking down, and I sort of stopped at this grate that said gas on it, and I was just looking at the grate, and Spirit said buy gas. So I was like, okay, fair enough. I'll buy some gas. So the later on the same day, I was cooking some food, and for some reason, I'd not lit the gas stove, and I don't normally do that. I was still in the kitchen. I'm not a dangerous person. I just simply hadn't lit, and I thought it had, and I was in there, and I started to smell gas. And then Spirit again said buy gas. So I was like, okay, great, double confirmation. Um, I'll buy some gas. So at that point, I don't know if I'd already bought some, but I definitely bought some at that point. And then the same day, I was at a birthday party, um, and um, I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this before, but someone leant on the gas cooker, and you kind of someone leans on the gas cooker and they turn the gas cooker on, and the room starts to smell of gas, and then you say, oh, you lean on the gas cooker, Frank, Um, anyway, the room started smelling of gas, and Spirit again said buy gas, and I was like, wow, not only has I've been told to buy gas through seeing a grate, but actually two times now, like somehow something's come through something and allowed someone to lean on the gas, and that's created something in my reality which has shown me something.
It's like
Um,
triple confirmation.
Triple confirmation, yeah, and I was blown away. So I was like, okay, right, I'm buying some more. So I went in more. I doubled my position, which wasn't a lot because I don't actually have that much money in crypto. I've not been in it that long, and um, I the biggest amount I put in was in sort of summer last year, and when it was at 2,000, and I bought one Bitcoin. So I don't have massive amounts to play with. I've since then made quite a lot through following Cliff's advice and buying Populus and Veritasium, and also lost a lot in Populus. And that was another one of my intuitions was Populus. Me and my friend had his blockfolio open, and suddenly his blockfolio went down from uh, 100,000, around 100,000 to like I don't know 70,000 or something. It went down big time, and we looked at Populus, and Populus had gone down like severely, like it had really dropped. I don't know if that's still on the graph on of whether that actually happened, but it did happen on the graph of Binance. You could see that. So at the time, then Spirit was like, okay, that's going to happen to Populous. And I said to my friend, oh, what if that happens? And he's like, no, Blockfolio just glitches all the time like that. And Spirit again was like, I don't know, that doesn't resonate with me. It feels like it's going to happen. And I didn't sell out because of kind of he kind of put me off, and he did kind of not believing in me. Kind of, I was
Yeah.
like, what if I'm wrong and this carries on going up like that? And I was like, okay, Cliff said it's going to be like Populous is going to be massive, and it's going to like make children's like super insanely rich. So I was like, okay, I'm holding on to that vision. So I'm not going to sell out. It can't drop by that much. But it did, it, and I lost a lot of money. So I always say to people is, if you get a strong gut feeling, then maybe it's worth following it, or at least half following it. I should have potentially sold half out, but I didn't anyway. Um, and maybe the universe hasn't given me all of the money right now because I'm still meant to help people like this. And maybe the same with Joe. Maybe Joe sold out of his Populous, so otherwise he might now be fully house sold off on a beach in Hawaii, not needing to work at all, and then none of you people would get any of this information. So the universe is perhaps guiding us and supporting us in various different ways. Uh, so yeah, so that's two of my most interesting experiences, I guess. Um, uh, as well as the other ones like me being guided to watch The Simpsons, uh, and then I got guided from like I was guided into The Simpsons, and and then Spirit said to me, "Okay, look at cryptocurrencies in The Simpsons." So I looked at cryptocurrencies in The Simpsons and found 10x. So that was through Spirit as well, and all these things through quite a lot of these things are through Spirit. One of these coins was given to me way before Michelle Whitedove came out with it through Spirit. And Dragon Chain was brought to me through Spirit. I was actually in a let's say a meditation ceremony in Peru in South America. Um, Dragon Chain was brought to me because I was whittling. I don't know if you use that word in America or wherever, whoever's listening, but whittling is like worrying. I was worrying about crypto. This was a month back when it was all red and terrible, and I was trying to tune in during this ceremony, and it really wasn't a good time. I was supposed to be healing myself and working on myself, not thinking about crypto. And Spirit was just like, "Shut the f up, buy Dragon Train, and you'll be like rich beyond imagination." So that was another coin that came to me through Spirit. So that was one of the coins, Dragon Chain, and it's definitely not my favorite out of all. It's probably only number 6 or 7, and it's linked to Disney, so I'm not keen on the energy behind Dragon. But yes, Dragon is going to do very well. And actually, I believe that it's come out in Cliff's report that Dragon, it was one of his top coins for March. And although it's not done anything in March, nothing's done anything in March. So maybe that'll move to April, or well, maybe. I mean, according to the reading, you'll hear in a minute what I feel it's going to do. But yeah, here we are. So let's see. And just noticing in the price of Dragon Chain, we've got 2, 4, 6, 9. Lots of 2, 4, 6s and 9s. And last time I looked at this, we had in its comparison to Ether, it was 2, 4, 4. So although this is like a very mild and basic way of looking at things, if I see, and this isn't a very good alignment, but for example, if I was to see if the price was 0.2468 and the percent change was 246 or 468, then that might be an idea for me, or that it's going to go up potentially. And if it's 1, 2, 3, that could mean a slow ascent, and if it's 2, 4, 6, that could mean a more rapid ascent. Please don't think that that's the only way that I look into things, but it's sometimes the Spirit will guide me to come to the computer at a certain point where certain figures are shown, and that I can read from those figures. So you're going to see, like the call counter, me and Joe's call counter just went from 1248 as I said that. I don't know if you can see that now. Now it's at 1259, but as the point that I said that, it was 1248. So 248. So yeah, that's just one very 5% way that I tune in occasionally. So where are we?
So you originally talked about Litecoin was the first coin.
Yeah, okay, so let's go into this channeled reading that me and my friend did, or friends, should I say, because when we do these readings, there's a lot of potentially guides or angels or aliens or whatever you want to, whatever it is, comes through and assists potentially, or I know the remote viewers work in different ways, and I use all the ways. Sometimes I might even use tarot cards, and there's a guy on YouTube that uses tarot cards, and he seems to have some very profound information, as do the Vedic astrologies, because all these coins have birth charts. They were born on a certain date, so you can track you can feel into the energy of the coin, and you can track what it'll do as it moves through the different planets potentially. Um, so so yeah, if you want to look at that, if anybody wants to look at that, if you type in Vedic astrology reading for Litecoin, and the Vedic astrology reading has Litecoin doing very well for the next 3 months, then a bit of a slow period, and then very well again from October, and then a sort of a 2-year lull from there onwards. So that's the Vedic astrology's take on Litecoin. Let's go into this reading now that we got. So I'm going to start by giving the coins in order, and then I'll read out the reading. So the coins we got in order from all of these top coins was Litecoin number 1, and yeah, Litecoin's a great time to buy. It's hard to know which to buy. I've actually been selling my Litecoin for other coins like Redcoin, Dragon Chain, and because I had a feeling like I didn't need to hold on to it, and that it might go down, and it did. So that's great for me. But now we're at a point where it's hard to choose probably between where to put your money in these coins. But yeah, anyway. So in order: Litecoin, Redcoin, Quantum. And then we're not quite sure where EOS comes into it. No, sorry, not EOS. EOS isn't in there. Sorry. Neo. We're not sure whether Neo is 4th or whether it's 5th. But so let's say either Neo or PPT is coming in as a joint 5th, or is it 4th? And then we've got Veritasium. So Litecoin, Redcoin, Quantum, followed by PPT and Neo, followed by Veritasium.
And again, this is something you feel, if we were all looking at the crypto market until around June or so, those top 6-7 coins should really be some movers.
Definitely, yeah. They're top picks from all of the best coins. Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, there's other great coins out there. You know, like EOS and like Pillar and you know, all of these, ADA, Tron. Yeah, all of them. Not. I don't know if we did a reading for Tron, so if you guys got Tron, we didn't do it for Tron. But all of these other coins I've sold out half of my position and moved them into these coins because the energy came through so strongly around this reading, and the kind of the charts line up with that as well. If you look at Qtum and if you look at PPT and where it's been, and if you look at if you just Litecoin, you know, Litecoin has just got huge potential. So it kind of lines up with the data as well.
Yeah, now, one other thing we talked about a few days ago, I'm not sure where this was it wasn't actually in your list per se, but it's a coin that everybody knows about for sure now, and that was Theta coin, and you actually felt like it's going to go bonkers at some point in the not too distant future. You still feel that way?
Yes, yeah, I do.
And when we say bonkers, we mean like good, not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's let's have a look at that. Let's have a look what came up in the reading, because not really, no, none of what the psychics haven't really done so far is brought any dates through. No one's really bringing any dates, but I've got some dates for you guys. I've even got some reasons why on these dates these coins are going to do well. For example, Dragon Chain. Let me just pull up the data. Hold on. Yeah, so I did a little meditation on Dragon Chain the other day, and I was seeing like the spring, and I was seeing like lots of filmmakers talking to each other, and lots of like kind of like I was like film sets. It was like as if parties and stuff like that. So it's like as in when the spring comes in and people start having parties and more films start getting filmed. It's like a lot of these people with a lot of money are going to be talking about Dragon Chain and investing in Dragon Chain. Um, so so we asked, what about Dragon? When's Dragon going to moon? Dragon will be a slow burner with fast bursts, first in 2 to 3 weeks, then more in 6 to 8 weeks, and then maybe in July, August, it will go absolutely supernova. So
Interesting.
that's quite that's quite it's quite an accurate time prediction there.
And how about theta?
Yeah, theta. Oh, I can't. Us English, us English say
A
theta,
theta.
but yes,
Yeah.
theta coin. Let's see. Shall I just read the reading out as it came?
Sure.
Um, okay. I might even start with the reading as it was. I'm gonna mention. Yeah, do you feel I should mention it in like it was like when I read it to you with starting with EOS?
Oh, I don't care. Or you can go into theta because I've got to cut this video short in just a little bit.
Okay. Um. Okay. Yeah. Um. Can we edit this part out and can I just stop for a second? Is
Let me
that
see. I wonder if I can pause it. I might be able to pause it. Hang on. All right. We're gonna start with the whole the way it came out, and there was actually a section there on EOS, and then followed by I guess theta. So go ahead. Start with EOS.
okay? Yeah. And let me start by saying that some of this is also my buddy's channeling as well. So um um obviously I'm not giving my name and I'm not giving his name and if anybody decides to donate any Litecoin, I'll share that with him. And I'm not asking for anything like that. Um, Although you're welcome to give something, and it might not even be now. It might even be when you make loads of money through this.
Well, that's what I was gonna
Um,
say.
you might
Let's
wait till then.
wait. Let's purposely wait because you might be shooting yourself in the foot right now. Let's let's wait
Yeah, yeah,
till
yeah.
we
Oh
see
yeah,
something, and then
yeah. That's it.
I'll actually do a video and say,
Mhm.
guys, pay up. This guy deserves it right now.
No, yeah. I mean, like, if my advice is correct anyway, I should have a reasonable amount of money for myself anyway.
Yeah.
Potentially not as much as a lot of people out there. So you know, it might be nice to have a bit more. But anyway, so yeah, I don't expect anything in now until this advice pays off. But yeah, anyway, the main thing was just to say that I'll chuck him a few Litecoin as well because he helped with this and we both did it together. Actually, it started off with me in a consultation advising him, and then we decided to work together because he's also very psychic himself. Um, okay, so starting with the reading in its formal order as it came through. Um, EOS is going to be really huge, huger than Ether, huger than anything. Do not sell your EOS, not for a house, not for anything. Just hold it long, maybe 1.5 years, but that's nothing. This next bit's talking about smart cash. Smart cash will pump again, so just set up your biodas now. Don't leave it too long. Don't wait more than 4 weeks to set up those. Um, the next pump may be the last. So if you've got any smart cash, then yeah, set that up, and you might even want to buy some. I kind of did a little tuning into it, and it looks quite good. Um, but I guess why bother when some of these other coins are the top coins? So, okay, what about Litecoin? Litecoin will do well this year, but it will not end up winning the battle. I like how the word battle was used when it's when you know, with the battleship, with the remote viewer. Um, that's interesting, actually. I really like how that
It is.
word came through. Um, I wonder what it'll get sunk by. Um, Maybe EOS, or maybe 10x Pay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like now Lightpace failed, and we saw 10x Pay in The Simpsons. I feel like 10x could be that one that everyone's using as a digital money main app or whatever it is. Um, So, okay, where was I? Will not end up winning the battle. I would get out when the timing is right for you. You will know when. Just follow your intuition and sell. Okay, guys. So, well, you know, maybe if I get any intuition around that time, me and Joe will make another video. Or you can follow your own intuition and develop your own psychic skills. And it's definitely possible. There's ways to do that, which you can research. Um, what about this huge list of coins we're looking at now? Which ones are going to blow up before mid-May so I can take profits for my center? So um, so the coins that came through were Litecoin, Redcoin, and Quantum. And then before that, when we'd done the reading together on the time before, Neo came through and Bitcoin came through. So he got Bitcoin and I got Neo, and then we both agreed that together that yes, we'd missed those coins, and we both resonated strongly with those coins. And then with slightly less energy behind them, we had PPT and Veritasium. Since then, I've tuned in that PPT is going to be the one that's just about does better than Veritasium. Although I love Veritasium, it's great. Not that I'm attached to any of these coins, and I'm so glad that I didn't get attached to Litecoin, because it meant that I sold quite a lot over the last month, and I was out 50% of my position before it crashed. So, okay, moving back into the reading. Friends, what about theta? And when we say friends, that means guides, whoever's around, whoever's our friend, whoever's working with us. Theta is a good pick, but it will be around 2 months till it goes bonkers, though some movement before then. That's kind of what, in a way, what Michelle said. She said there would be some movement before eventually it would go, bonkers. But she didn't give any dates of when that might happen. But she said sooner than you think. So that's kind of lining up with what came through on this reading, around 2 months. So we'll see what happens with theta in 2 months. This bit's a bit woo-woo, but in my current timeline, what will happen to the overall crypto market? That means sometimes people can shift into different timelines or different death points. Like you might be sort of set to die when you're 87, but then you might change your mind and die when you're 93 or something. That's kind of woo-woo. You don't have to listen to that if you don't want. In your timeline, it will stay about the same for 6 weeks or so, maybe 8, as you had thought, and then it will go parabolic again.
How long ago was this, though? this reading?
This was last week,
Okay.
about 1 week ago.
Okay.
Um,
So we could just round off practically. Everyone listening, call it April 1st. I mean, we're so close. Let's just call it April.
well, yeah, yeah. Although it was a week ago, but um, there are some timelines where the market could go a lot lower, but that is not your current timeline. Your beliefs steer your timeline, so be careful. But you know this. So yeah, be careful, guys, of your belief systems and how they affect. We're all connected through and the science has proven this. The tree roots, they're all connected. All the trees are connected through an electrical grid system. Us humans are all connected through an electrical grid system. Science proves that. So yeah, be careful what you're thinking and how you affect yourself and others. Um, Friends, what about ten? You didn't want to say anything, did you, Joe?
No, go ahead. No.
Okay. Friends, what about 10x? How long before this coin moves significantly? 2 to 3 weeks for a move, 6 weeks for a huge move. So from that, it sounds like most things will start moving in about 6 weeks ish. Um, yes. So
And that's funny. That puts us in May, and May's that big date we keep hearing about.
yeah, yeah. I mean, 6 weeks from now would put us a week before that conference, right? A week before the 15th. And obviously there's going to be a build up to that conference, definitely, So that's when things are going to go parabolic. I think things will definitely start moving before then, but that's when the big moves are going to start happening. And for now, yeah, I see a wave at the moment. I see that the people who have a lot of money in crypto have the ability to control the market right now, and they're going to wave it, probably from um, from this top line of like 7.75 down to 6.5 or even 6, and it's going to probably wave around there, and they're going to make quite a bit of money trading through that time. So if any traders, it could be an opportunity to make some money over this next few weeks. Although, yeah, not sure if trading's my thing or particularly too much in that. If we all did that and just kept scraping money off, then it's not. Who knows whether it's integral or not to do that? But and who knows that the fact that we could have all sold out at 20,000, but then the market could have gone even lower, and then we're kind of the soldiers that have held up the market. We're kind of the battlefront that's been holding the line and holding crypto up and stopping it from just completely dying. All the people that have held, my feeling is that there's like Bitcoin billionaires out there or Bitcoin millionaires that knew that this crash was coming and they didn't sell, just because if they sold, that the crash would have been even harsher for all of you guys. And they held the line, and so what? They lost like a few million, but they've still got a billion or whatever,
Yep.
What's that name? That name springs to mind. That guy who calls himself a fund angel. The guy he did a video with that. What's that guy that people don't like that does all videos with the books in his garage and the Ferraris?
Oh.
Do you
Um.
know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I.
Everyone knows what I mean. That guy who likes to talk about his books and his Ferraris. Um, anyway, just I don't want to go on because I know Joe's got to go. So just let me see if that was the completion of the reading. Uh, and then I've already said about Dragon. So that
Yeah.
was the final part of the reading. And then we went back to EOS, not EOS, Neo. Sorry, Neo is solid and will perform well throughout the year. It it will actually be relatively stable and just keep rising, a good long-term hold. Um, so yeah, so that's Neo. Uh, I just want to mention that I haven't run DNA through any of the readings, so DNA is not in there, but
Okay.
DNA could be a good one. Um, and that is, I did see some good numbers on Pillar the other day as well. Um, so I'm not discrediting Pillar, and Pillar wasn't in the reading either. So there are a couple of coins that wasn't in there. I'm going to do a separate reading on those two soon, and also OMG, because OMG was the only amazing coin that wasn't in the reading, and I will do a separate reading on OMG because it's definitely going to be a big one. Um, but it doesn't feel like it came into the top three anyway, so we'll not worry about OMG right now.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's that's it.
All right. So we kind of stopped abruptly there at the end, and we were just, I do that sometimes when I'm chatting with guests and stuff, and then we thought, well, maybe I do a little outro video, just kind of a, maybe not necessarily a summary, but just a little outro to think about a couple of things. So go ahead and take over where you kind of left off before we started recording.
Yeah, I just wanted to reflect on a couple of things really quickly. Joe's got to go, so sorry if this sounds rushed. Keep it to 5 minutes or less. Uh, so yeah, I just wanted to mention in regards to the statement about EOS, um, through further tuning in and reflection and some signs that I've seen from some of my other buddies, um, although like I really see like EOS doing really big long term, and I also have another psychic friend who did a video on Bitcoin, an amazing video on Bitcoin. She doesn't actually like Bitcoin, and she says it's going to crash in 2025, which does resonate with me. That doesn't mean all cryptocurrency will collapse then. It could just mean the end for Bitcoin and its horrible environmentally polluting mining, and then something like EOS could take over, because obviously EOS doesn't pollute the world with its electricity consumption. So that could be it could be really supported by the universe and Mother Earth, because it's not damaging the environment. Okay, so anyway, EOS, she sees an E zooming alongside Bitcoin, potentially even overtaking Bitcoin, and that E doesn't really feel like Ethereum to me. So what else could it be apart from potentially EOS? Um, anyway, just back to what condensing or coming to what I wanted to say. Yes, although I feel really bullish and great about EOS long term, um, it feels like it could be a bit up and down, and it potentially is oversold right now because the tech hasn't released. So just to take that into mind with EOS, uh, and yeah, just keep your intuition open and keep watching the graphs.
Yep. All right. Cool deal.
I think that's all I wanted to say. I'd like to make further videos with Joe on some spirituality around Bitcoin and consciousness around Bitcoin, and all of that. And please, if you make money through this, don't go out and buy a Ferrari and use it all week. If you want to buy a Ferrari, at least just use it at the weekend, and
Do something productive and positive with your,
do something productive
let's
and
change the
positive.
world together.
That's it. Let's change the world together.
But you
Let's
can
let
have your toys, what he's saying. You want a toy, buy your
Yeah,
toy, but don't make crypto, don't make this like that. Buy, how many cars can I buy? How many
yeah,
of this can I buy?
yeah,
It's,
yeah,
sure, have your toy, have your fun. We all deserve a little something, something, but, I see an opportunity here for changing the world, and it
yeah,
freaking needs it bad. So
yeah,
let's all work together, and, hopefully we get so-called rich together, but we don't look at
hmm
rich anymore the way we kind of look at it now, where, oh, I'm rich, I'll just buy all these houses and cars and,
yeah,
no. Let's get rich and use it as someone who's rich and has the ability to to change
Yeah.
things. You know.
Use it to heal the earth and buy land, and instead of putting loads of concrete on that land, re-inhabit it with loads of beautiful birds that'll help you to relax your mind listening to their beautiful tweets, and
Yeah.
all of that. And I just to if I could have 60 seconds to
Yeah.
express my vision. um my what I'll be using my money for is it was going to be a healing center, but now it's going to be a consciousness center. So there will be some healing of people going on in this center, but mostly it's going to be a consciousness center, bringing all of the most brilliant minds from around the world together and inventing things and creating things that are going to help heal and build the world to a new paradigm, a new quantum um, evolution, and hopefully great minds like Cliff High will pop in, and all of these really amazing people. I've got a link that I just made in Ecuador, who's going to be making C60, and he's going to be making the ultimate version, which is potentially the Philosopher's Stone, and it's a red version called Red Dragon. And this is basically a high. It's a kind of more advanced form of the standard C60 that's been vibrated on some sort of sonic device, so it's more effective, basically. So yes, I'll be sharing some links and contacts and profound people with you guys, hopefully as well, along the way.
Excellent. Yeah, I look forward to having you back on. So I'll get this video edited, and I'll set it to go live. I think tomorrow morning sometime.
Okay, excellent.
All right. It's a pleasure talking to you. We'll talk again.